Room. All right. Okay. I hope everybody is here. It's 8:33 already, right? So we should be okay. So welcome to our first meeting of the Daniel's Fast. I had a first presentation about it a while ago, well, about a week ago. And thank you for joining me on this thing, this fast and this journey with the Lord. So today I thought we should just look into a little bit of tips and nutritious facts, because every time we talk about changing our diet, we kind of freak out and say, oh my goodness, what I'm gonna eat. So I think the first few days, it's normal that we are more focused on what we are eating than other things. So today we are gonna concentrate on the mind and body. If you can turn to the next slide. So the three promises that the Daniel fast, the three results that it showed on Daniel and his friends was they were the most beautiful. So beauty, they were the wisest ones, and they were the most connected. They get gifts from God. So today we are going to do the body and mind. And in the next meeting, we are going to talk a little bit more about the soul and reflections and share our prayers. So food and nutrition factors and a little bit of what is we have to eat or not to eat from Bible. The Bible passage is vegetables, which the translation in Hebrew, it's more things that comes from the seed. And then I went into the dictionary and I saw this, I don't know how to speak Greek, Hebrew, but hirakot or hirek comes from work and green. So things from the ground, things from the earth. That's what we are looking into having in our bodies. And avoiding the feast, the indulgence, the gluttony. That's the part of the fast. So we are fasting of our pleasures. Well, just so you know how much we are thinking about food, look at the list of the delicious recipes we already shared in the chat. We will think about collecting them. I'm hoping someone is collecting them. I'm terrible at recipes, but if you ever want something, any recipe, just let us know. We have a bunch of people that loves sharing recipes, and they're delicious.
I think somebody volunteered to put a book together. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look through the chat again. Somebody.
I know. Tati said, "Oh, maybe we should put a book together." We'll see if she goes with that. I'm terrible at recipes. I usually go look I eyeball things. So let's take a look. First of all, when we change our diets, we think, oh, am I going to eat things that I need for my body? So I put together a list of vegetables, all our vegetables and legumes and fruits that have vitamins and minerals. Now I'm going to explain how did I get to this list of vitamins. First, I went to my doctor, naturopath, and also read about, what people need, especially now with the coronavirus. So it's top of the list is vitamin D, but if you also have to have vitamin C, zinc, iron, magnesium, and this carotene that I'm going to go get there. This is the most interesting one. So iron, as you can see, we have spinach, legumes, pumpkin seeds, quinoa, broccoli, tofu, and nuts. I tried this tofu. Didn't go very well. I don't think I'm going to keep eating that. But zinc, you have the nuts, the whole grains, magnesium, lots of, again, nuts, legumes, bananas, leafy greens. The vitamin D, it's very difficult to find in vegetables, except for mushrooms, but you just go outside, right? It's free, it's the sun. If you get half an hour, you get enough for the day, almost for the week, depending on your color of skin, because it makes a difference. And then vitamin C. Vitamin C is the one we need when we are having iron. Iron needs vitamin C to be absorbed. So I put there my favorite ones, and I'm going to just spend a few more time in cauliflower and cabbage. Cabbage, because Crystal shared with me a recipe that I loved. I never ate cabbage this way. It's roasted with olive oil and seasoning, and I've never had that before. It was delicious. I'm going to make it again. And just so you know, the cabbage has 85% of our daily amount of vitamin K and 54% of vitamin C. So just having cabbage in your diet is already giving you all the nutrients you need. And is the same as cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli. They all contain antioxidants, and they should reduce inflammation. So that's good to know. Cauliflower is just because it's my favorite, and it's also packed in vitamin C. Then quercetin, that's an interesting one. Unfortunately, we cannot have it right now, but the top of the list that I had that I looked up, it's red wine. So we'll have to leave it for later. But the doctor came with this quercetin because it's something that has in one of those, those treatments that people were talking about. I think it's hydrochloroquine. One of the elements is quercetin. So he said, oh, I'm going to take this just because. Okay, good. So we can find in onions. I cook with onions all the time, so we should be good with that. Cherry tomato, broccoli, blueberries, and apples. So they all have this delicious vitamin. And then the most important, people say, I'm not going to eat meat because no animal products, right? Oh, I'm not going to have protein. So there you go. I search it up, and we can have lots of protein vegetables, and in lentils, chickpeas, nutritional yeast, which is something delicious that I tried as well with this group, quinoa, nuts and seeds, and soy. So most people think we cannot get from protein if we don't eat meat, but that's not true. We can. The only difference is that animal proteins are a little bit more dense, but the fats are the ones that will make us feel fuller. So if by any chance you are feeling hungry, increase your fats. That's going to help you get a little bit full. So we also can put some proteins in our smoothie and salads using hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, and sea vegetables, and soy and edamame. So these are some of the nutritious tips from we have a Nutri chef in our group. So she gives us lots of good tips. So that's some of them. And she also told us to be careful when we talk about smoothie, about our sugar content, because what happens when we change our diet and we are not used to some things, we try to grab on our carbs, right? So a few things that you have to be careful with is not to go into fruits that are high in sugar. And I'm going to tell you a story about once I was into this juicing diet, and I bought a juicer and we start juicing. Then I think I had to travel for a while, and my husband said, I'm going to do this juicing diet. And he did for a week, and he got more weight than less weight just drinking juice. And I asked, well, how did it happen? And he got, you see that list with lots of sugar, of fruit? He got all those in one juice and drank all day. So it wasn't very good. So always try to put smoothies, try to combine true fruit and true veggies. Try to put a little bit of veggies on your smoothie. Don't have only fruit, because then you have more vitamins, minerals, and less sugar. So we have less fruits with less sugar. You should try, and also the vegetables that are less sugary. And treat your sweet potatoes, squashes, corn, beets, and carrots as carbs, because they are very high in sugar. So we should have once or twice a day. some grains are low in protein, but they also contain plenty of sugar, which is the case of wheat. So we should avoid. So in our Daniel diet, what the discussion in the group is that we are trying to avoid like the processed food. So pasta, you know, the bread, all the even the white rice, because it's too processed as well. And they don't have much vitamins. They're pretty much carbs only. Our chef also said that when you transition from a standard American diet, you usually go for lots of, you want more sweet. So a good alternative are dates. But again, dates are packed with sugar, but they also have iron. So use with moderation, but it's better than sugar. And one thing interesting that you mentioned, and if our diets, we are not used to a diet full of vegetables, and then we start having them, it's good that we use a very good quality salt, because we need, if our levels of potassiums go higher, we need the sodium to keep it balanced, which I didn't know. I found it very interesting. I'm gonna search it up more. And if you go to the next slide, oh, yeah, I already talked about this one, sorry. To the next one. So if you wanna go back there, I think people didn't see, I'm looking at my presentation and I didn't realize. So these are the less sugar, the less sugar veggies and fruits. So papaya, berry, cantaloupe, avocados, peaches, kiwi, citrus fruits, and cucumber, iceberg, lettuce, celery. So if you see spinach, cucumber, these are the things it goes very well in your smoothie. Now, the sweet potatoes, squashes, and corns are the ones I said it's more sugary. Veggies you should avoid or treat it with care, not have all, only potatoes and together. And the sugary fruits like grapes, pears, mango, banana, dates. So this is it. Then the next slide, I just want to make you jealous and show you my favorite fruit. And I don't know if you know. So on the top, I think it's the left, the orange one, I don't know if you have seen, most of you are from tropical countries, so you may have seen the cashew fruit, the guava. My favorite is the red, but it's hard to find here. On the other top, the little berries, actually looks like a cherry, it's acerola. I don't know if you've seen it, but my childhood, I ate that and mangoes that I got from the trees. So some of you are having memories too. And my favorite of all times in the middle, it's jaboticaba. I have no idea if there is any other else in the world, but they are delicious. They are little sweet. It's packed of sugar. Yeah, delicious. Just because I was hungry, I said I was going to show you this. So if we go to the next slide, I'm just going to go through a few very, very used items that we mentioned on our chat. One was almond, which is excellent in vitamin E. So if you go to the next one, I just show a few impressive nutrients profiles of the almonds. And things that we do a lot with almonds is the almond milk homemade. We are sharing our recipes and our now I found out that even soaked almonds, 4 soaked almonds can change your skin and make you look younger. So I'm trying those ones too. So they have a lot of vitamin E, proteins, magnesium. So it's a very, very healthy. And something that I looked it up and I was studying, and most of them have, of all those that we are showing you, is most of them help infections, help with immune system. It's help with prevent cancer, prevent Alzheimer's. It's a lot of the same thing that you see in different places, but all the same thing for all those veggies and all these fruits and nuts. So really, really impressed. Reduce blood pressure, lower cholesterol, like so many why people are not talking more about this, right? Um, and then the next one is oats. So the healthiest grain on earth. That's what I got from one of the websites. The oats are good with fiber, and they have one that's called beta glucan, which helps to reduce cholesterol and blood sugar levels and promote healthy gut bacteria. They say that if your gut bacteria is good, everything else in your body is good. So we want to feed them. We want to give them good food, and apparently oats are excellent. But not all oats are the same, so you should avoid the quick oats, the quick rolled oats. They are really, really processed. Yeah, get out of those. Prefer the less processed ones. I use the ancient rolled oats in my overnight. Oh, and the recipes, overnight oats, the oatmeals, and delicious recipes. People have been showing us pictures of their breakfast. You get hungrier. Then another one, the next one we have been talking a lot about, and I included ginger because we've been talking about the golden latte, which is turmeric, coconut milk, almond milk, cinnamon, and ginger. So I put it there, ginger and turmeric, because they are powerful anti-inflammatory. So in times of COVID, what you don't want is having an infection. It's good to have those things in your pocket, right? And because they are natural, we don't have overdoses. You have to keep always there and have it once in a while because they are building up your immune system. So both ginger, among the healthiest and most delicious spices. I put ginger everywhere I do. Today I did a delicious smoothie, and I put ginger in. My kids said, "Oh, it's ginger," but they already know when they're feeling something on their throats. They say, "Mom, can you do this ginger tea, please?" Because it's always there. So antioxidant properties as well. And turmeric, I found something very interesting that not only prevents lots of disease, again, as we were talking about, it's not very well absorbed by our bloodstream. So we need to, that's why the recipes always say to put a little bit of black pepper. I didn't understand at first, but now it's because black pepper has this piperine, which is a substance that helps absorbing the curcumin that is something in the turmeric. So that's good to know. So every time you do a golden latte, don't forget the pepper. Otherwise, it's just going to go through your digestive system. So that's this. I just added one thing because we were chatting yesterday and people did not know about propolis. And I also heard that in Brazil, they are studying propolis and it's reducing time of patients in hospitals with COVID. So I don't know if you have heard of it, but it's basically, you can go next to the slide. It's basically the bees kind of discharge mixed with the bee wax. It creates this, it's a liquid. And since I grew up, every time it was, if you have an infection or something, you just have, you put propolis everywhere. So I don't know if you also knew, but it's actually from animals. So for the Daniel diet, if you do it properly, you wouldn't have, but if you have an infection, I just found it interesting. And then I found this, that since the 8 times ago, even the Egyptians, they used to embalm their mummies. So they have really good, very good properties. Keeps us always young, I guess, with the mummies. And interesting as well that I looked it up and discovered that the location makes a difference, because depending on what kind of flowers the bees can access, it will make a different properties of the propolis. So that was very interesting. That was just an aside because I was into it. So now I just want to open the table for us to talk about how we are doing. And I put a rainbow just so for us to say where we are inside the rainbow, like I don't know what to do, or outside. I'm a pro. I'm not a pro. I'm just saying.
You know what? It's actually not too bad. First of all, Elena's amazing because she's not even doing it with me and she's cooking my meals. Otherwise, I'd be eating raw vegetables this whole time, right? But it's been okay. I mean, I did a juice fast too, Sandra, even before I had vegetables and fruit. And I remember the first couple of days I would get headaches, but I haven't gone there yet. I don't know. Interesting.
Good.
So
yeah, I think as we could see, if we choose the proper vegetables and ingredients, if you combine them right, I don't think you get hungry.
So if anybody gets headaches, you must remember to have cucumber, because cucumber has all the vitamins and the water nutrients that you need for your body, like the salts and the potassium and everything. So it's good to have cucumber. Make a smoothie of cucumber, maybe a little bit of coriander, and you can add just a little bit of either pineapple juice just for the sweetness. You can add a few leaves of celery, one plain stalk of celery, and that's what I did today, and ginger.
I've heard that about cucumber too. It's even just having it before bed, they say that you wake up feeling very refreshed just by eating cucumber. Like it's very, because it has a lot of water, it's hydrating. So yeah, and it helps with headaches. Yeah, it's true.
I always put cucumber on my smoothie. It's like my go-to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask anyone if they've lost weight?
No, it says you don't lose weight. I was reading the book of Daniel, and it says they actually did very well. So they really didn't lose weight.
It doesn't say that they lose weight. Yeah, they say that they get stronger. But you know what, Barb? I did lose weight, but I was already on a reducing my diet, and I was not eating the best. So I think if you have weight to lose, like if you have excess, you may lose, but if you don't, you won't lose it.
Yeah, and be careful, like if you eat a whole bunch of nuts, because nuts are high in fat, right? So if you start eating more than a handful, like a big, like a few bowlfuls a day or something, then you're gonna gain weight.
Or lots of fruits high in sugar as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I feel good. Like after 4 days, I don't know. I don't know. Like Helena said, she felt like I slept better today, like the last couple of days. So I don't know if it has anything to do with it, but I feel better. I don't know if I've lost weight, but.
So because I was reading the book of Daniel, and it says at the end of 10 days, it was observed that they appeared better and fatter than the young men who had been eating the royal rations.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you think about it, like having meat, not trying to promote veganism or anything, but having meat, like it's heavy on your body. Like who eats a steak or a hamburger and then feels like, oh, I'm so full.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
But when you eat like a bean-based burger or a quinoa burger or something, you don't get that feeling. So if your digestive system is working better, you sleep better because your body can do what it's supposed to be doing. Right?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like what did I have? Roasted, what did I eat today? Holy cow, I forgot what I ate. But anyways, it was like a salad.
Roasted vegetables.
Yeah, roasted vegetables on a salad. And Helena's like, you got to finish the whole thing. I was like, holy, that's a lot. Right? But I finished it, and I was full, but I didn't feel like that full to the point where I had right.
Yeah.
So I felt fine. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Is anybody familiar with the keto diet? Are you familiar with the keto diet?
I am, yes.
So if you're familiar with the keto diet, pretty much you cut out all carbs, right?
Yes.
And so your body goes into what's called a state of ketosis,
Yes.
which they say help to bring on more clarity in the brain.
Yeah.
So if you think back to Daniel, their diet would have been just vegetables and water, right? Which would probably put their body in that state of ketosis. But more importantly, through their prayers, the Holy Spirit would have been acting in them. So it just explains to us how that everything that God does, he does with a purpose, right? And
Sure.
which is why we need to probably be balanced in how we approach everything, from diet to just, our entire lifestyle is what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And I love what Maria said today on her email about we were really talking about what to eat, what not to eat, and she said, well, let's look at those words. And I think the Father Mark Crosling, I think that's
Goring,
he also
Mark Goring.
Mark
Goring,
Goring.
yes.
Yeah,
He
Father
also said something about probably the guys that were eating the diet with the king, they were having too much, they were indulging, and then you don't feel good, right? So those are the words that so it's different from each person, because it doesn't say like details what you cannot eat. So you go with your gut, right? If you really need this, you eat. If not, like we had a discussion today about rice. It's not that you cannot eat. In the end, rice comes from the earth, right? It's just that our white rice is already so processed. Maybe you want to avoid it, but
Yeah, the
but
list
it's
says
really
you
up
can
to
eat
you.
wild rice, right? I think that list
Yeah,
said you
Brown
can.
rice, really
Oh,
high in protein. Really
Yeah.
high
Healthy
in
brown
protein.
rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And brown rice.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Sandra, like
Brown
brown
rice is
rice.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just trying
How
to
are
follow
you
that
doing?
list as
Wild
much as I can.
How are you doing, Sandro?
I'm okay. Made veggie chili tonight.
Ooh,
Chili with brown rice.
Nice.
good.
So the kids are having it, so that's good to see, right? So I made a big
Yeah.
bowl of it. It was good.
That's good.
Question about does anybody have a recipe for like a flatbread, or I don't like, because we can't use yeast, right? So
Yeah.
So all you need to do is
flatbread or
just,
anything like that, or
yeah. So what I do is every day, it's called chapatis that we call chapatis in India. All you need is add a little bit of oil and water and knead into a dough and then press it out. But I also made today oats out of oats. Like,
okay.
like from the region I come in, I know Marina will identify this with me, hand breads. We normally make hand breads with rice flour in India, but I made it with oats flour.
Hmm.
And
Flour.
yeah, so all you need, I ground the oats into a powder in my mixie, and then you take 1 cup of hot water, you boil it up with a pinch of salt, and then you add the oats flour into it, so that the boiling water wet everything together, and then you knead it hot, put it onto a plate, and then you knead it into a dough, and take a small amount and press it flat onto the on your board, or into a non-stick pan that you have, and then you put it onto your pan and cook it one side and then flip it the other side. So either you can make that with using the steamed or oats flour, or you can make a dough called chapati, where you use the flour and you use a pinch of salt and a little bit of oil and hot water, on just a little bit of water. And normally I could also could have used yogurt, but I don't use yogurt anymore. I just use water, and I mean, that's hot water, just enough to incorporate into a dough, and then roll it out into flat bread, and then bake it on the pan, a non-stick pan.
I
So
like
I've
the,
also
A little video in the group too on the.
yeah, I like the sweet potato flatbread you shared, Davina. Oh, I want to
so
try
you can
that.
even make it with sweet potatoes. So either you steam your potatoes, and then you add it to you mash it up, and then you add it to your flour, whole wheat flour. Now in India, we would also add different kinds of flour. I mean, to my whole wheat flour, the culture party would add one handful of, we would grind it actually, because we normally send it to the mill to grind, but even you can, if you have a mixer that grinds your lentils into a dough, into a powder, you can use a little bit of 1 teaspoon of each of the 5 lentils that you can see fine without the skins, and then grind it into a powder and add it to your whole wheat dough, whole wheat flour, while you're kneading it into a dough. So it's that kind of chapati is also very nutritious.
Good. I
Yeah.
want to try those. I want to
Yeah,
try the
but
sweet potato.
Yeah, the sweet potato is very nice. I know. I mean, that's very soft. If I find a recipe online, I will send it to you. The one, but avoid the ghee, as they call it, or the clarified butter. Just use the
Yeah.
oil instead of that.
Yeah.
Okay? So let me see if I can send it to you.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very good.
somebody has to put a recipe book together because I can't keep up with all the recipes going. By the time I look at the messages, there's like 50 messages that I got by. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Also,
I hope
try
there's
to-
not,
I
I
try
hope
to
there's
do
not
it in
a test
between
or
my
something
meetings.
on these
my
recipes.
husband didn't look at it
Yeah.
for a while, and there was like 85 messages. He's
I
like,
know.
oh, there's 85 messages. I said, I know
I
you have
know.
to look at it like every hour.
I think the recipe book will get ready for next Daniel fast.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to look in between my meetings, and then I got a call come in. I'm like, oh man, I got to put the phone down. Then I can't catch up. Someone's got to put it together.
There's a bunch
We'll
of
try.
foodies on this site.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yep. Oh my, that's good. Yeah, today, to be honest, I was fighting a lion today. I think I was in the den with the lion because I don't know, something, I needed to eat something, and I had an orange and it wasn't there, a grapefruit, and it wasn't there. And then, I needed something else. Then I remember when I talked to Maria to see my presentation, see if I'm not so, saying some nonsense here. And she said, if you're feeling hungry, eat more oil. So I went and had some avocado, what's the name? The green thing that we mix with avocado and
Guacamole.
guacamole. Yes.
Make
Yes.
a guacamole, yeah, because it's good
Oh,
fats.
then it because I just needed something. Yeah.
So what we did when we were doing the bread and water fast, what we do in that case is we have blessed olive oil. So we just take a little bit of that olive oil and a little bit of salt and put it on your tongue and just that. And drink water, just a little bit of olive oil and some salt.
Mhm.
And does that take the hunger away, Lorna, or is it? Is it
I
just?
think it's the craving, right?
A lot of it is, I think a lot of it is our state of mind. So I find what I do when I go through that struggle is that's when I start, it forces me to pray. It's a really good, it's at that point, it's when you really need to start praying. And I find that works for me. It's when I go through. So what I do at that point, I'll say, Lord, I'm struggling here. I need your help. If you don't help me, I'm going to break the fast. And I don't want to break the fast. And you don't want me to break the fast. So you got to step in. And I just, that's all I say. And it usually works.
So it's all
I did
about
some
training
push-ups. I did some
not just
push-ups.
that. It's all about training your mind and keep on saying, Lord, at this moment in time, who do you want me to pray for? And
That's
because
good.
this is all, it's not about the diet, it's about your spirituality and your communion with God. Remember, you're doing it to save souls. You're
Yeah.
gaining the wisdom and knowledge of God. God is talking to you at these very moments and he's asking you something. What is he asking of you? And that's where you got to ask yourself, Lord, what is it you want of me? Because I'm feeling this craving of me. It is you fasting in me. So when you are fasting in me, what is it you want me to do? So let me do your will. And that's when you say, come Holy Spirit, and he will bring to mind people in your life, or you'll think of somebody, or you'll think of some occasion where you need either to forgive or to pray for someone. And it is surprising because you will remember people you have not thought for a long time, or you'll have a fleeting memory of somebody and you'll remember that instance. And that's where you say, I think the Lord wants me to pray for that person. And you begin to pray for that person. And I have realized that when this has happened to me, and I've gone back and suddenly someone has shared an instance with me and they've said, at this time, this thing happened. And all of a sudden, everything was calm and cool. And I would ask him, when did this happen? And what was the time? Because I know that I had remembered them in prayer. And it would relate to the same time that I was asking the Lord, who do you want me to pray for? And he would bring to mind that very same person. And that person did not know that I was praying for them.
I had that exact experience once.
Yeah.
Because I was going through a hard time and somebody wrote me a beautiful letter and included some prayers. And I just had the letter sitting there for a couple of months. I didn't open it. And then finally I opened it It was around October, and I opened it and I read this, and I started to feel like God was talking to me. And then the girl who wrote me the letter, she's very spiritual, very, very Christ-centered in her life. She was at church, and she got down on her knees and she started to cry. And her fiance said, "What's happening?" And she said, I feel Liz's pain right now. I feel her pain. And she asked me, "When did you read that letter?" I said, "It's like beginning of October." She was at church and she had felt my pain.
Wow.
I was blown away. I was
Wow.
blown away. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
So
That's
this is the power
powerful.
of the Holy Spirit, because this fast is all about your communion with God, knowing the heart and mind of God. Because with the Daniel was always wanting to know the will of God. He was wanting to know the wisdom of God, right? And the
Yeah.
wisdom of God is revealed to you in on the time when you are most feeling the most horrible, the most wanting of something, right? And that's where you got to give yourself at that very same moment, say, "Lord, what is it you want of me? How can I help you, Lord? How can I
Yeah.
ease your pain on the cross? How can I feel your pain of your wounded body on the cross?" And that is
Right.
what we need to do. And that's why when you ask the Lord that, he will reveal it to you. He will bring to mind either, as I said, instances where you need either to reconcile, or instances where you need to live for him, or instances where maybe he'll bring you somebody in your mind and you say you do not know what, but you will when you start to pray, you will realize that months later there was a reason why you were doing it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always been like that with me. So think about it and offer to the Lord. Yeah. Because that's what you're fasting for, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 No, that's a great. That's a great.
Yeah.
The way you explain it there, Davina. I think that's perfect.
Mhm.
That's very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
very-
also good to take away like a few things, because when it's the first time you do, you don't know, oh, it's my body gonna feel like, we all get a little confused, right? Oh, I'm not used to eat this. Is it gonna be good? So I just want to take this one out of the way, and now we can focus and say, oh no, I'm making a good choice, because I think God made all this delicious food and so many vitamins, and then we eat pasta every day. Nothing against pasta, I love pasta, but it's just a one thing, or one, so
There's
it's
a
just good
tea,
to see.
there's a tea brand, I think it's is it Yogi? But they have little messages on the tea
Uh-huh.
bags, right? And one of them had said, I read this a long time ago, that anything that you need, God provides in nature, right? Like for every ailment, God has provided, right?
Yes.
Something in nature to help you, but the thing is, like, we have to just look into it, like the almonds and the cucumbers and the
Anti-inflammatory things, like things that can cure
turmeric.
you.
Like, there's so many things that can cure you, and then people just pop an Advil rather
Yeah.
than turning to
Like,
food
yeah.
that could be able to help you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And it wreaks havoc on our organs and our kidneys and all that. Like, people who take that stuff, I'm not saying people, I'm sorry if there's someone here who takes that all the time, but I try it like all lengths to avoid taking those
Yeah.
pharmaceutical type things, and I turn to nature instead.
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
thing that we always have to remember, that when we think about, oh, I cannot do it, I'm going to be hungry, how will I survive through this? I mean, if I should eat some more of the fruit so I don't feel hungry in a while because I'm going out, or because I've got this job to do, or because I've done that to do. Remember, at that moment itself, that our fear is not from God, it is from Satan. It is, we have to
Yeah.
combat the evil one, and we say, Lord, I want to trust in you. I want to build my trust in you and surrender my whole life, myself to you this very moment, like this hour that I'm going through. Because remember the Garden of Gethsemane, I mean, in the Garden of Eden, God gave every kind of fruit tree, but he said, do not eat of the middle of the garden, right? But they didn't trust, they saw it was very delicious. So that the fear was that, oh, if I eat it, I'm missing, if I don't eat it, I'm missing something,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was if I don't eat, her mind was, if I don't eat it, I was missing, because that was a temptation put in by the serpent. So, and this is the kind of fear we are going to have that as we go through the fast. Like if I don't eat it, because when I did the bread and water fast as well, I would say, okay, I'm going to feel so hungry. I'm going to be so, if I don't eat, because now I know I've got to do this assignment. I won't be able to have it now. So I would say, should I have an extra slice of bread? No, I would. Because I said, no, Lord, you are going to take over. You know, you are going to walk with me on this journey. I am not alone. Jesus is carrying the cross with you. He's walking with you. He's journeying with you. Because our life here is a journey and our goal is heaven.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we reach that goal? Are we walking in that journey? If we think we're going to do it alone, forget about it. You know,
Mhm.
nothing is, think of Luke 18, verse 27. It says, what is impossible for man is possible with God.
Mhm.
You
Very
keep on
true.
repeating that verse, Luke 18:27. What is impossible with man is possible for God. And you say, Lord, you're walking with me. You are journeying with me. And then all these fears of like of I'm going to miss it. I'm going to feel hungry. I'm going to feel faint. I'm going to feel weak. I'm going to feel all this will go away. Because remember that Jesus was from the meal he had last at the Last Supper till the very next day, or even after. I mean, he didn't touch anything. He did not eat anything. So your journey, remember that whole journey of the passion of Jesus, and it will make it much more easier because you're walking with Jesus, you're journeying with Jesus. And when you start to remember all these the sufferings of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, right from the Last Supper, he knows who's going to betray him. He knew it, and
Mhm.
yet he couldn't say it. He couldn't disown Judas. So there are many Judases in your own life, in your own heart. How can you root out the Judases of your life? Right?
Yeah.
So that is where we have to focus and say, Lord, clean me, cleanse me, uproot all that's not of you in me. Right?
Yeah.
It makes it easier
Awesome.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. It brings me to the homily from Father Mike Schmitz this weekend that he said about,
Mhm.
we have so many options. We ended up choosing wrong, right?
The
So
blue
let's
jeans.
challenge ourselves to have limits, and within
Yeah.
those limits, we are free, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it was very good.
And the thing is,
Yeah.
because you can choose to be Judas or you can choose to be Peter, right? When Judas
Yeah.
did not look at Jesus and repent, Peter, although he failed, and because it identifies our own self, like we can fail, but if we look at Jesus and fix our eyes on Jesus, we can walk on water and we can go ahead, right? But otherwise, you're all going to sink.
Yeah.
So,
We're nothing without God.
yeah, we are
And
nothing
from
without
John.
him.
Yeah.
Very
Very true.
good. Very
Very
good.
good.
Very true.
Anybody else? How everybody else? We are the ones speaking all the time. Barb, what's going on there? Is there more nice recipes from your husband?
You're on mute,
Oh,
Barb.
you're on mute. Mute.
You're on mute.
I have the same situation as Jason.
Uh-huh.
Our spouses love us.
Cooking for you.
I can't even show you what Michael made tonight. This portobello mushroom with all this thing on top. I mean, I hate portobello mushrooms, so I feel a little bit better that he made them for himself, but never mind. Anyway, it was just like, it only took, and all of these recipes say easy. Yeah, they take like an hour to an hour and a half, right?
Right. And this is another beautiful thing that's happening. Look at our spouses treating us, right? Look at this.
Not nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I'm doing well. And actually, I was going to say that when I get hungry, I have this little thing of sliced almonds nearby. So I just start eating them. Or then I have some pistachios. So I start eating them. But actually, I don't want to lose weight. But I think I've already lost like 3 or 4 pounds. So I don't know.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna have to
goodness.
watch that. Yeah. But anyway, I find I'm quite full. Like most of the
Yeah,
time.
nuts are filling.
Yeah.
Yeah, but generally speaking, I'm quite full. So I'm happy. Thank you.
Good.
No, this is great. Looking forward to the rest of the journey.
My
Yeah.
son has been giving me tips from like TikTok and stuff. He gets food ideas from TikTok.
Oh, I love the TikTok recipes.
I know, like to put a clementine in the freezer, and then you take it out after it's frozen. You let it sit on the counter until it's just gets a little bit warm, so you can peel it. And you peel it, and the clementine, or you can do it with like a mandarin or whatever, tastes like sherbet.
No
Same
way.
thing.
'Cause
It's the
it's
same thing.
Frozen.
It's frozen and it's delicious.
Try
Okay, so
frozen
here's,
grapes.
here's a picture of the portobello mushroom.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh,
Well,
delicious.
that looks good.
With
Yeah,
some
so throw your
sauce,
little oranges in the
chickpea
freezer.
sauce and shallots and.
That looks good.
This is love. My goodness.
He loves portobello mushrooms, so at least I don't feel too guilty. I mean, I am Catholic, so.
Love it.
Uh,
Love it. Good, good, good. All
Yeah,
right. So
thank
for
you.
the in about a week or so, I think we may pick another day other than Wednesday because Maria said her best days are Thursday and Tuesday. So maybe we want to have her here for
yeah,
any
that'd be
other
great.
yeah, for nutrition because she is a nutri chef. But now I think after it happened to me after the first 4 or 5 days, my body was calming down and coming to an agreement with my mind that no, not gonna eat more. And then you can focus a little bit more on our spiritual plan. So yeah, for now I'm doing okay in my spiritual plan. I've been busy these days, but I'm keeping my journey, my journal.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so I'm trying this because I'm very bad at discipline. I'm keeping exercising as well. I do my stretches every day. So, and when I'm doing my stretches, I do pray. And in yoga, in the yoga thing, they say, okay, set your intentions. I say, God, this is for all those that are suffering, and then I go suffer for them.
Yeah,
Push-ups.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So keep strong. I think after this 4 or 5 days, if you're doing good, you're doing even better. And your body will just accommodate. It's fighting right now with your desires, but soon it's going to come down. And then maybe in about a week, we can share a little bit of our thoughts, insights, anything that came to your mind, as they say, when you start reading about what you want or what you want to grow with God, it comes different reflections. So if you have anything, take notes and let's share next meeting. I'm not going to prepare more boring slides for you, but
Oh, no, those slides
But-
are very good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very,
those
very
are
good.
awesome, Sandra. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah,
Informative, Sandra. Thank you so much. Yeah.
wow. Yeah,
my pleasure.
so much
Really?
good information. Thank you.
Yeah, I did a lot
I
of
just want to make you
research.
sure that you're doing something good for you, not just for your soul, but for your body too.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a balance, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna close with the psalm that called my attention this week that I was reading with Father Mike. Psalm 25 verses 4 and 5 reads, "Make me to know your ways, O Lord. Teach me your paths. Lead me in your truth and teach me. For you are the God of my salvation. For you I wait all day long."
Oh, amen.
Yeah.
Great verse to end it off
Beautiful
tonight.
one.
That's the start of our journey, right? That's what I want from him. Teach me your ways.
Thank
So-
you,
Thank you
Sandra.
so much, Sandra.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Good night.
God bless.